Prime Minister Modi's much publicized global engagements and high-profile diplomacy appear increasingly disconnected from tangible outcomes when tested on substantive security issues. Where Pakistan's military leadership now receives red carpet treatment internationally, India finds its core concerns about terrorism systematically marginalized in global forums. The Biden administration's repeated claims about mediating between India and Pakistan, despite New Delhi's consistent denials of any such diplomatic engagement, further compounds these challenges. More troubling is the Indian government's muted response when American officials make factually incorrect statements about India-Pakistan relations, raising questions about our diplomatic assertiveness and capacity to correct misleading narratives. This lack of pushback risks allowing false narratives to take root, further eroding India's global standing. The core issue transcends individual incidents and points to systemic weaknesses in India's foreign policy apparatus. Despite ambitious self-projection as a global leader and Vishwaguru, India finds itself alarmingly isolated on matters that directly impact its national security. China's strategic coercion has compelled even traditional allies like the United States to rehabilitate Pakistan's international standing, while Russia and European nations follow this lead with little regard for India's concerns. This isolation becomes more pronounced when examining the international media landscape, where persistent negative portrayals of India go largely unchallenged by effective counter-narratives from Indian diplomatic channels. The failure to shape global perceptions allows adversaries to dominate the narrative, leaving India on the defensive. What emerges from this comprehensive analysis is what can only be described as a diplomatic debacle of significant proportions, when not a single nation, including traditional partners like France beyond the narrow context of the Rafale deal, stands with India on designating Pakistan as a terrorist state, we must confront uncomfortable truths about the limitations of our foreign policy. The harsh reality is that India's extensive diplomatic outreach, despite numerous high-profile visits and summit participations, has failed to translate into concrete international support on our most pressing security concerns. This disconnect between diplomatic activity and substantive outcomes reveals fundamental flaws in how India builds alliances, articulates its positions, and leverages its growing economic and military heft in global forums. It's a sobering moment that demands introspection about why our efforts are falling short